You're a jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades.
Bit of a jack of all trades, aren't you, Harold?
Here's a question I want to ask to all of you guys. Would you rather be a soldier in the garden or a gardener in the battlefield? This is a highly debatable topic, and I want to go over this from as much of a non-biased perspective as possible. The fight on who is better, specialists versus generalists. Before we take on this though, we need to understand what both these terms actually mean and represent. Specialists are defined as a person who concentrates primarily on a particular subject or activity, a person highly skilled in a specific field. In other words, a person who has a lot of training, knowledge, or skill in a specific area. They are regarded as either experts or connoisseurs in their field. A generalist, on the other hand, is defined as a person who has a wide range of knowledge in various subjects and holds many skill sets. A person whose knowledge, aptitudes, and skills are applied to a field as a whole or to a variety of different fields. Now we got that out of the way. Who's better? It's not that simple. Even though the title explicitly says the answer, you have to first hear me out on a couple of key points, as to not get a false impression or idea. We are living in what some people call a digital renaissance, because technology has introduced many untold possibilities. Many opportunities have risen, but they've also introduced a lot of disruptive innovation. This sparked the need for people, more specifically leaders, who can competently manage and handle multiple specialists in different industries. Throughout the history of mankind, specialists have always existed and have been carried with us even through evolution. I mean, even specialists don't just exist in humans. Other animals like ants that operate in a colony have specialists as well. Some of them are responsible for finding food, others are responsible for digging, and some lucky ones guarding the queen. The same applies to us humans. We need a specialist who can gather or hunt food, farm crops, and build houses, all the way to the modern society where there are a gazillion unique jobs, each serving a role and function in society. But we're forgetting one thing. Who manages them? Who's leading these specialists? Who's pulling the strings in the back and making society run with order? This role gives the birth and need of generalists, and they are far more valuable than any of the specialists. Let me explain. You need to be decently adequate in a specific field to manage people in it, let alone multiple fields. There's a common misconception that generalists are another way of saying someone who is not good at anything, and this is simply not true. A real generalist will have competent, at least above average skills in their fields. You can't just have a basic grasp of understanding in the field and add it to your generalist arsenal. Here's an example.
How does a nuclear reactor work?
What?
It's a simple question.
It's hardly a simple answer.
Of course. You presume I'm too stupid to understand. Good. I know how a nuclear reactor works. Now I don't need you.
So how would a politician know how to run a nuclear plant? And how would a nuclear engineer know how to run a country? Generalists have what is called cross-field knowledge. They are multidimensional, able to flexibly think from different perspectives and apply totally different field insights. Take a notable figure that I covered in my previous video, Jim Simons. He was an expert in mathematics, and because of his natural entrepreneurship inclination, he sought other ways to earn money using his expertise, and that's when he came up with a way to trade financial markets using complex quantitative methods after studying a good bit of finance. Famous music artists, believe it or not, are a form of great generalists. They have a special voice that resonates with the audience, but they still hire producers, record labels, managers, marketers, and so on, ultimately making them a generalist. There are solo music artists, but they are quite the rarity. This leads me to point number 2, the craftsman versus the cog. You need to understand the concepts of value and outcome-based thinking. The output you make does not necessarily reflect the input. You could input 1 and have an outcome of 10, and you could also input 10 to have an outcome of 1. Leverage is key, and you need to utilize it correctly. For example, well, take any business. Say you started a haircut business. You're doing everything all on your own. You cut the hair, you do the cleaning, you do the accounting, you market and research competitors, you represent legal, you create your own graphic design, and you do everything all by yourself. How much output can you realistically get from this approach? Now, if you have a dedicated person, i.e. a specialist, performing in each of these roles, well, I'll let you do the math yourself. But I'll give you a hint. The math does not mean that more employees means more output. The analogy here means that a generalist will leverage specialists who perform excellently in each of these roles, which will give far superior output. Outcome-based thinking focuses on how to get more output while having less input. The generalists are the craftsmen, while the specialists are the cogs in the machine. Another good example of outcome-based thinking is Mr. Beast. During his early content creation days, he was studying hard about content creation on YouTube. Since he understood the concept of leverage and OBT, he had a friend group that also focused on content creation. And listen to what he says in this clip here.
What I did was I somehow found these other 4 lunatics. 3 of us were college dropouts, 1 was a high school dropout, and we basically talked every day for 1,000 days in a row and did nothing but just hyper study. If you envision a world where you're trying to be great at something and it's just you mess up, you learn from your mistake. You in 2 years, might have learned from 20 mistakes. Or if you have 4 other people who are also messing up, and when they learn from the mistake, they teach you what they learn. Stuff like that. Hypothetically, you 2 years down the road have learned 5 times more of the amount of stuff. So it just helps you grow exponentially way quicker, if that makes any sense.
Revisiting back to when I mentioned the digital renaissance, we now live in a world technologically evolving so fast that soon specialization alone won't suffice. If you don't want to be susceptible to being replaced by automation and disruptive innovation, then the generalist path truly awaits you. If you bring up the argument for irreplaceable specialization roles, that doesn't really exist. I'll do you one better though. Specialization roles or jobs evolve through technological development. If you were an architect in the 20th century who could only specialize in using traditional drawing boards, you would have been easily replaced by AutoCAD. And now there's that hot debate going on from the rise of AI-generated art. If you want to be invincible to disruptive innovation and automation, you simply have no choice but being able to learn and adapt other skills that you weren't comfortable or familiar with, making you a generalist. Being a talented artist is impressive, but if you want to take yourself to the next level, learn how to market and brand yourself. Being a prodigal software developer is nice, but there's still room for you to grow if you can't communicate effectively. And if you want to build the next Facebook or TikTok, good luck simply relying on your technical skills without having any fundamental soft skills like communication, management, leadership, business, and so on. While there is nothing wrong with being a specialist, as the world is evolving more and more, we humans have to evolve too and will serve bigger roles in just one job. With the current explosive growth of technology, there is no doubt we are entering into another type of renaissance where we're finding out new things, but this time at a rate of tens or even hundreds of times faster. I even hate saying this overused word, but AIs are thinking machines that allow us to process input data and generate output far more efficiently and faster than ever, making it a feedback loop with exponential growth. A lot of industries are lagging behind, and it's only a matter of time before we find even ourselves being replaced or automated. And even after everything that I've said in this video, I still encourage you to have some sort of specialization, only that you will build and learn even more skills atop of your specialization, making you a great and competent generalist. You should become a jack of all trades, master of at least one. And here's how you can become an expert generalist. Number 1, learn soft skills. Soft skills are the key to unlocking your ability and leveraging it across industries, making you stand out from the rest of your competition. They can help you communicate effectively and demonstrate your expertise where you can gain recognition more easily. There is very little room for growth if you work in isolation. You need friends, team members, and allies who can support you in achieving greater goals. You'll have better scale and more power with just average skills with a good network than an expert skills all by yourself. Number 2, learn just enough of a specific skill or field. You only need to be an intermediate chess player to understand how grandmasters think and strategize. You only need to beat the Ender Dragon once in Minecraft to understand how speedrunners beat the game quickly. You only need to know roughly how full-stack development works to create a team of front-end, UI UX designers, and back-end developers to form your own IT team. The point is, you only need to know just enough to be able to converse with the experts in the field, because you're not the one working or doing the task. You just need to be able to lead and direct them with a goal. Number 3, have a sense of true curiosity, passion, and dedication with a vision. Nothing, and I mean nothing, repels specialists more than people who have no natural inclination or curiosity to their field. No experts will align with you if you don't possess this mindset. They need a purpose and a reliable, competent generalist. For example, take Elon Musk and how he is able to manage multiple billion-dollar companies in different industries. He has a clear vision and a sense of true curiosity to the point of learning rocket science to work with aerospace engineers, and passion. Number 4, adaptability. You need to adapt or die. There are so many cases of incompetent generalists that cannot realize the true potential of their team because they fail to adapt with the current times. Managers, for example, that don't want to use or even learn new technology that enables their competitors to outperform them tenfold, leaving them behind in the dust. Or executives who are too scared to evolve their company ideologies or business models to fit with the changing environment and community. In conclusion, the debate between being a specialist and a generalist is not about determining which is inherently better, but rather understanding the value it brings to the table. Specialists provide deep, focused expertise and are crucial for mastering specific tasks and advancing particular fields. However, as we live in a society that progresses exponentially, the role of the generalist is becoming increasingly vital. Generalists are the ones who can bridge gaps between diverse fields, manage and coordinate specialists, and adapt to new challenges and opportunities. They possess the ability to learn and integrate knowledge from various domains, making them indispensable in leadership roles and in navigating the complexities of modern life. So, you should strive to be a jack of all trades and a master of at least one. Embrace curiosity instead of ignoring it. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to support me as a creator, then leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you're looking forward to more of my content. Also, I will be releasing my own Discord server, and if you want early access, just DM me on Discord or Instagram at my official account at Zendecay. See you guys later. Peace.